Absolutely.
Amazing. Right, so we're Moshville Times, we're here at Bloodstock 2023, and I'm here with the guys from the Enigma Division. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having us. Really appreciate it, man.
That's alright, no worries. So you guys played on, I believe, Sophie Lancaster stage earlier, yeah?
That's right, yeah.
Yep, how was the gig?
Fantastic. It was our first ever gig, so it was sort of like a baptism of fire, and so obviously, you know, nerves, all of that, all the above, but what really helped was the crowd. They were incredible. They even knew the lyrics to our songs, which just blew our minds, and that kind of made us settle in a little bit, and you know, it's
it was kind of unbelievable, like hearing like reaction to certain songs. I think the last song I heard, like quite a big kind of a reaction. And I was like, oh shit, they actually know.
Yeah, they know. Yeah, it's like, it's very strange because we're not a well-known band, and you could spot people doing like drum fills to bits, and you're like, holy shit. Okay, so it's like people have heard this. Okay,
so that must be pretty special when if you are quite a new act essentially, and the people are just all over your stuff already. That must feel incredible.
No, I mean we're on a high. I mean it's just because genuinely we weren't. We're kind of, I've probably been Irish. We're quite self-deprecating. We're like, you know, it's like.
You try and play off the smaller scene.
Like if you get away with it, great. But I mean the tent was rammed. People were clapping, people were jumping around. Incredible.
I think it's the kind of stuff as well. We you know, at some point we were like, yeah, we'll probably gig it at some point, but we kind of, you know, got the album finished, released, and then we were like, oh, what's next, you know? And we didn't really think, you know, going out gigging it properly, you know, what's the next. We were nearly like, let's just start working on the next album. Yeah. And then of course we were like, we got the opportunity to do this, and that's lit a whole new fire under us, because we're like, okay, this can work as a live thing, right? And so it's it's been amazing. Like,
So how did the opportunity to play Bloodstock come to you guys?
I actually, the honest is, I don't really know, but what I think, I have a theory, is we brought out an album early this year, self-titled album. It did, and we genuinely just did it as a passion project, no expectations, and it just grew its own legs. And we noticed, like, on YouTube, people doing reaction videos and all like crazy. And I got a phone call from Simon Hall, and I think the reason that is, I used to play in a band called Zerath, and they were an English band. And we played here a couple of times.
I think I remember you opened the Ronnie James Dio stage about 6 years ago or something.
About that, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that connection probably helped, I think. And then, but Simon really enjoyed the album, and he goes like, well, hey guys, how would you feel playing the SOPHIE stage on the Friday? And my initial reaction was no, and not out of like being ungrateful. It was just like, I don't know if we can pull this off, because I mean, like, we just did it as fun, and you know, and
we didn't really know if it was going to translate as a live thing, I guess.
You know, and but he was quite insistent, and I'm glad he was, because that was one of the best moments I've had on stage, and like even warts and all, the crowd, the atmosphere was just amazing. I mean,
so looking to the future a little bit, can we see the Enigma Division trying to book a tour?
Yes.
Yeah.
We weren't going to, but actually, funny enough, since today we've been talking to people, and there's some things in the works.
Nice. Glad to hear that.
It's opened a whole new chapter for us, really.
So, like, again, thank you, Simon. This has actually really made it sort of a legitimate thing now. I mean, we're currently working on our second album, which we hope to bring out probably early next year.
Okay.
Because the last one took so much time, because we all played keyboards as well, a lot of layering, and
there was a whole in-between Corona thing and all
so that. It was like trial by error, and we've kind of learned how to record a bit quicker and just, you know, kind of get things, you know,
a bit more fluid with
a bit more organic, and you know,
So I understand that obviously with you starting to get more live shows and stuff, you didn't originally have a separate drummer, but now you do for gigs, Am I understand that correct?
Yeah, funny enough, our singer is the drummer on the album.
Yeah.
One of the best, and he played with Zerath as well, actually. And this was his first time ever, and he's been playing music for most of his life, being a frontman. Wow. So I can only imagine how terrifying it was from him. At least I had a guitar to kind of be a blankie to, you know, but he knocked it out of the park. He was fantastic, and Yeah, so the idea, we got a guy from England called Jake Stone. He used to play with a band called Endeavour. They're no strangers to Bloodstock too.
Yeah, I think I saw them at Bloodstock.
yeah, exactly. You know, and he literally just like, I mean, he learned the stuff better than us, and we wrote the stuff, and he can play it better. And we needed that. We needed someone that kind of would give us that boost of confidence to actually go, you know, this might work, and you know.
So going forward, is he going to be a more permanent fixture in the band, or maybe just for shows?
I think probably a more permanent fixture. We're sort of literally since today, there's talks about kind of our next direction, and again, he's just such a nice guy, and I think that's like really 90%. It doesn't matter how well you play. It's about how long, like how well you get on with someone, and you know, and it's
you get the same ideas and stuff like that, the same kind of.
You know, he was like, you know, he came in the first time I ever jammed with him. I mean, it just immediately clicked. We didn't have to work at it. It was just, it was there, and it's fantastic.
Do you know what was good about it as well? Is you just have another mind to kind of throw into the melting pot of what the Enigma Division is, because there's just so much on the go.
Yeah, because I mean, me and him kind of did most of the writing on the first one, so it's like we can't do that again. We need more, you know, exactly, you know, so. More ingredients to it, and you know, and do something different and try to get better. You know, the further we go, hopefully, you know. So
good. Yeah. So prior to Bloodstock, I don't know, we looked through your social media and stuff, and I saw that the Enigma Division, for a very new entity, had a lot of very positive press from the magazines. You're getting radio play. How did that feel before you even set foot on a stage?
I mean, what blows my mind, but. We'll wait for their hug. What blows my mind about that is we don't have any PR, we don't have anything, and like I actually want to stress that, like, we're a DIY band.
Yeah.
So it genuinely, it took its own legs, and thankfully the right people heard it, sent it to the right people, and it kind of was like really kind of magical in a way. It kind of reminded me of the tape trading days of you know. Word of mouth and blah blah blah, and that is genuinely how it happened, and it was just people obviously liked it. It was just
it's a testament to the strength of the music, eh?
Well, look, Jesus, that's far too kind. I mean, it's but like
there's definitely people who champion the music, and you know, like the likes of Oren out of Overdrive.
Shout out to Oren Overdrive.
Championing the music and, you know, pushing us and helping us get out there. So.
In fact, it wasn't really possible without him.
We couldn't really do any of that without those really important people that, you know, kind of take you under the wing a little bit and give you that kind of boost and exposure and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And confidence as well, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you need the confidence. So, looking at your music and what you've kind of said about influences and stuff from what I've seen, it's quite a big melting pot of, like, there's obviously the prog metal, there's a little bit of jazz, and then synthwave, and all kinds of things thrown into the Enigma Division.
Well, you've really listened to it, actually.
So how does it how's the creative process for you? Like, how do you kind of come up with this mad music, but it sounds so nice? It doesn't sound like, you know, sometimes you get mental progressive. Sometimes you get mental progressive music that sounds really wanky, but the Enigma Division's tasteful, I would say.
I think it's because, like, we're not really, like, obviously we love metal, but I mean, like, we also love, like, Peter Gabriel, Tears for Fears, and, you know, like, we listen to a lot of stuff, and I'm a true believer of having, like, a hook in a song and having something that, you know. So, like, myself and Ronan would write the bulk of the music, and then Ben helps with the melody lines as well, and it just
makes it recorded and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of like from the start, from the moment we sort of started recording the album, we sort of started assembling the band as it needed to be assembled, you know, and it's just kind of came together that way, like.
So to answer your question, really, it was just like we all listened to different stuff, and it was just sort of try to make kind of this sort of obnoxious music somewhat accessible, if that makes sense. It's,
I see that. Into metal and make it something coherent that makes sense, you know, makes sense or whatever.
No, I definitely see that. So we'll wrap up a little bit now. You mentioned that there's going to be some new stuff. Can you give us any details at this point? And when are you maybe expecting to bring it out?
Probably early next year, hopefully. We've sort of demoed a lot of them. we're going a bit more direct this time. No 20-minute songs on this one. So we're kind of thinking of like Pantera, extreme porno graffiti, Van Halen, but made heavier, and just sunshine metal basically, and hopefully, and Gunship actually. They're a band we're kind of. There's some lovely lush keyboard sounds, so we're pretty going to go kind of somewhat into that territory as well, you know. So
nice one. And ending the interview now, obviously we mentioned the possibility of the Enigma Division starting to tour a wee bit more. Is there any details you can kind of give right now, or is it still very much
I actually
you're talking
can't,
to people?
because we're literally off stage. This is all new to us as well. So not just yet,
fair enough,
but it's concrete enough that you will probably hear about it soon. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So the crux of that is everyone needs to get on your Facebook, get on the Instagram, all of that, keep an eye out.
Share our music, you know, spread the word, and you know, help out as much as you can. You know,
big
absolutely.
things coming for the Enigma Division in the
hopefully
future.
so.
Hopefully,
yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much, guys.
An absolute pleasure. Thank you. Cheers, man.
No worries.